Spencer, come on. We need to get going. We need to get out of here right now. We have to get to the Mariana Trench as
Mariana
fast as
Trench.
possible.
What are you talking about?
Spencer, the bar. We have to find it. We have to bring it back up.
The fuck is the bar?
His name is James Cameron, the bravest pioneer. No budget too steep, no sea too deep. Who's that? It's him, James Cameron.
Josh, for the first time in my life, I gave you homework to do.
And I hated it.
You hated
it? Was
it?
funny, but
How did you hate it?
I didn't hate it. I just didn't expect you to come at me at like 9 p.m. and say, "Hey, watch a South Park episode."
I did do that. I did do that. I also gave you the pirated link to the South
first
Park
one
episode.
I've seen.
That's crazy to me that you haven't seen South Park.
Which I didn't use, by the way.
What? You didn't use the pirated
I
link?
don't know.
Oh my god, you're never gonna live.
No,
in the,
I have like
in the pirated
a
world.
dozen streaming services. I have to use them.
Well, that's a waste of money, and it's great time for our sponsor, certain. Nah, never mind. We're too cool to be sponsored by
No,
by
wish.
ads. I wish. I do wish. So
You say that, but you would absolutely take one.
yes. Josh, I found those slime you were looking for actually.
Oh, thank God I can get a lead.
Yeah, I'll run those back up. I'll waste more of my time because I don't have shame. Unlike the topic of the South Park episode I told Josh to watch, outside of the James Cameron spoof, which I thought was the best part of the episode, it talked about shame.
I mean, just objectively was.
Yeah. So I mean, so
I mean,
Josh, like, what
isn't
did
kind
you
of
think?
the point of that the world has no shame anymore?
Yes.
Isn't that kind of the point of the episode?
That's the entire point of the episode. I'm glad you took something from it.
Yeah.
It
What I took was I immediately thought about TikTok jokes, and I was like,
So, if you guys don't know, it's the South Park episode titled Raising the Bar. It talks about Honey Boo Boo, which is very, I don't know when that was, 2012 maybe, when that came out.
no, not a damn clue. Not a damn clue.
Obama was president, so who knows. And it's just like, it's focusing a whole lot on just we as a society, Joker reference, we as a society do not have any shame on the media we consume was kind of the vibe, at least for the episode. I think you could agree with that, right?
Would it be the media we consume, or like how? I mean, where it gets controversial is like what we think is acceptable about ourselves. So then, like the actions we take in public, I feel like was kind of a little more, at least at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I took it as the media just because it's like it was the there was a line where it's like, well, shit, if it's gonna happen, I might as well get paid for it. You know,
Yeah,
so
true.
it's like it's just, you know, I think it's a very relevant thing now because I feel like, you know, despite James Cameron coming in and raising the bar, the bar
Being the
has not.
savior we all needed.
The bar was not raised. In fact, I think it has gotten much lower in the past couple of years.
So I'm gonna say 2 words: skibbity toilet.
Skibbity toilet? No, that's brain rot.
And that's all I'm gonna
different.
say.
That's brain rot, Josh. That's
But it's brain rot. But I feel like for some people it isn't.
You think people unironically watch Skibbity Toilet?
Yes, I think
but
there
that's
are
not-
people who unironically watch it.
Yeah, but that's not like degrading people. That's just an what, TF2 models, is it? I think it's TF2 models.
No, it's Half-Life. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, even worse.
Hey. Yeah, I get what you mean.
It's just people nowadays will do anything in their life for content.
Ooh.
Yeah?
I mean, how many scandals have been started just based on a YouTuber wanting to get clicks, right? Essentially. I mean,
Whoa!
that's
You didn't have to call me out like that.
that. Yeah, no, it's you. You making Order 66 memes was definitely the pinnacle of YouTubers trying to bait people and do degrading things for content.
That's
Absolutely.
a 1 million. That's a 1 million view video, buddy. I don't know what to say.
I mean, clearly people liked it,
Well, not enough to stick around.
but but no, it's like, I mean, I don't know what to mention without that's not going to be problematic to say. I'm just going to say Logan Paul and I'll leave it at that. And I think you know exactly what I'm thinking of.
Crypto scandals, Prime, the Lunchly stuff.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
it's true. There's a
People,
lot.
okay, people don't
There's
like
a lot.
but people don't like Logan Paul, so that's fine. You think Logan Paul is gonna come after me? Hell no.
It'd be funny. I mean,
would
that
be-
would probably be the best content you'd have in years.
If I got a cease and desist letter by Logan Paul's team, that would be insane.
You'd probably get famous just off of that. But no, like the idea that, I mean, you're going and being the laughing stock of the world for either your small group of fans or the people who watch it just to make fun of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I find it hard to believe that he genuinely either believes or, you know, unironically does some of the stuff he does. Because it's almost comical.
Right. I mean, I don't think he knows at all what he's doing. I think he knows what he's doing, but I don't think he doesn't give a shit what he's doing as long as it make Logan Paul is the best case of I want money and I want it now. And there's really
which I feel like
there's nothing else
is
you
an
can replace.
example of that.
Yeah, I mean, Logan Paul is definitely somebody who doesn't have shame because he doesn't give a shit about anything, but he overdoes it when people criticize him. But like he puts himself in he humiliates himself and does the dumbest choices like crypto scams and doesn't expect to face repercussions?
I almost wonder, like, do you think he genuinely doesn't expect it? Or do you think he just reacts to it in the way he does to get more attention?
I think he should have enough money. He should be resting on his laurels after the whole, I don't know what the fuck, Maverick, right? Isn't that his brand? After that whole fiasco of 2019, he was set for life. He didn't need to do all this shit. I think he does it for the thrill of the game and just trying to rug pull as much money as possible. So I think he does it. I think he definitely does it on purpose.
Which, yeah, I mean, that's an example, of the purest form. It's, I know exactly what I'm doing. I know how degrading this is. I realize what I'm instilling, I guess is probably a word for it, in younger people. And I'm going to do it anyway because it's making me successful. It's making me money.
Do you think that they, not Logan Paul because he's a very outlier example, but people that do that and do it for their life, not obviously crypto guys will rug pull anybody, but just do you think they recognize that hey, yeah, I'm doing this purely for clout and self-worth and whatnot? What do you think is...
Or self-gain.
Do you think they get it? Or do you think what they're doing is correct? Do you think that they're so delusional enough to think that they're in the right?
I mean, the boring answer is it's probably just a case by case. Because I'm trying to think of a good example of it.
But I mean,
but there are definitely people who are sitting there, they're going to people, they're scamming them, and they know damn well that they're ruining these people.
Right. I guess I'm shifting more towards the YouTube scene. That's kind of how I took the episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
so more I mean,
it's people.
Relevant example is Lunchly.
Yeah. Lunchly, yeah. Oh my god, I'm getting jumped. So I took it as what is the most common job in schools that they want to be. They want to be YouTubers. That's all kids want to be nowadays. Now,
yep. Because
okay.
it's just the ideal thing to be.
So what can I do to be that? What can I do to get to that spot? And I don't think that they care. I don't think that they know what they're doing is wrong, even if they're being scummy, even if they're like moving the goalposts and just like doing everything that they can to be successful and just leave everybody in their wake. I don't think they know what they're doing. I think that they can do no wrong, and the second they get pushback, they explode.
Like, I guess the example of like extreme clickbait or otherwise not quite lying, but like misleading people to watch your videos, and the second people is like, oh, this is fake, or oh, you're clickbaiting it, they fly into a rage in the comments of, no, this is, how dare you say that on my videos, that sort of thing, you mean?
Or like, a clickbait's a good example because it's like, well, everyone clickbaits. Why I'm following.
Yeah, why shouldn't I?
Yeah, I'm just
I'm
following
just playing
the
the
trends. Yeah, like that. The game. That's probably the best way to describe it. That's probably exactly what I'm getting at. The game of YouTube is designed for you to be as shameless and as money hungry as possible. And you can take a lot of routes to that. You can, be the over childly friendly guy after being a Call of Duty YouTuber for like 10 years. You could you could sell out. There's so many ways to do it, but I think all of it, even to a degree the stuff that I do, is extremely shameless. Because that's how the YouTube society is built. It's rewarded on impressions, it's rewarded on views and subscriber count. That's definitely not how it was when we were children. Maybe because we never understood it, but a lot of it because you couldn't get monetized.
Yeah.
So it put everybody in kind of a fair game.
What's kind of interesting about that is I vaguely remember, like, when all the Mr. Beast drama was happening. I mean, it kind of still is, but when it was a lot more of its height, was a lot of people were bringing up how they thought he kind of changed the way YouTube works, in kind of changing how people play the algorithm and basically making it more about the algorithm, where, like, obviously there was a bit of that before, but I think people were saying he kind of popularized it on a wider basis because, I mean, his audience was massive, and they were seeing what he was doing.
It's definitely a numbers game. It definitely, in terms of YouTube, society is always going to be shameless. I feel like we can't really. I mean, there's a lot we could talk about with society, but at least, like, to keep it grounded on YouTube, something that we know, Mr. Beast made it about the algorithm, and that's the game now. That is, you're 1000% right.
Because, like, obviously he wasn't, like, the first to do it, but he was a very major figure who did it and who got so much success because of it.
Right, and that's
so kind of pushed people who might not have done that to do it more.
And that builds off of our last episode with, like, clones. Like, I know a bunch of people cloned Arbiter 617 before he was a pedophile. All of that, like, just, it's definitely selling their souls, basically. And that is as shameless as you could possibly be.
Yeah, because you're essentially, I mean, you're throwing away any of your ideals, any of your morals, and just saying, I want money. I want success. And I'm willing to do basically anything to myself to get it.
And
because that's what's important to me.
And the problem is with YouTube and society and whatnot is that it works. You can be a guy on what's the tech place in San Francisco, like Silicon Valley. You could be a Silicon Valley engineer who, like, gets, who builds a startup for the sole purpose of selling out. Just like selling it and moving on to the next thing. That's as shameless as you could possibly be. YouTube, you could basically scrap your entire identity, build up a Mr. Beast clone account, and, sell it to some Chinese guy who will just change the channel because you have a high sub count, which is crazy and it's something that's happened before.
Yeah, probably. Oh yeah, probably dig it into the ground by doing it, but it still happens.
Well, yeah. Well, it's just like, bigger number, better person, is how they look at that.
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't know. I don't want to say entirely it was kind of him changing it, but I think it was a pretty big part of it.
I mean,
Because obviously
he's-
there was similar stuff before. I mean, like the Frozen Spider-Man videos,
Oh,
if you
God.
remember those.
And you can go back to the like the vlogger age of 2018. Let's see. I guess now it's more like drama, not really Mr. Beast stuff. I like YouTube changes every single time, and it's really a lot of the algorithm. But at least with Mr. Beast, he rose to fame because he studied the algorithm. That was his thing
Yeah.
that he said he did over and over again. It's like, yeah, I studied the algorithm and I figured it out. Now people just copy Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast is a great example, like, of a great YouTuber. Controversy pending, guys. He's a great example of a great YouTuber who failed over and over again and still came to work every day with a smile. But now he has just been cloned 10 million times by shameless people who just who will probably privately admit to themselves, yeah, you know, I copy Mr. Beast because that's what, feeds my bills. And
Yeah, that's what works.
Oh, yeah, all power to him. But it's just like, dude, you can't acknowledge it publicly. And I think that's really all we need to like hold anybody accountable. It's like, yeah, I saw this, I think it worked, I'm doing it, and it's working well. Something like
I'm
the
successful
like
now. I am stable. Stuff like that.
right, like Minecraft 100 days things. It's like, yeah, half of them are fake. Half of them are fake and pushed out. But like nobody's ever like the guy's never going to admit that he fakes his series. Why would he? But it's like
Yeah, because why
that's
would
the
he? It would
that's
just
the
ruin
difference
immersion
between
for a good amount of people.
right. That's the difference between a healthy society or YouTuber economy, as I just keep going back to, than anything. Like that. That's what we should be striving for. But unfortunately, that's not how that works. There's a fox in this cave. All right.
Yeah, there was one up top too.
Yeah, I was looking for it. Oh.
Yeah, it's just because, I mean, in probably what is a terrible, terrible thing to be thinking, in some of these cases, being honest and being open about what you're doing doesn't pay.
It doesn't. But it makes you more spineless. At least in my opinion. I just want, like, my philosophy has always been open and honest. Yeah, if I quit a channel, yeah. But you know what?
Yeah.
That's fine. Doesn't matter.
Did I make my first video entirely to get views and then kind of gave up on
Whoa.
that idea? Yeah.
Okay, South Park Order 66 was a shitpost that blew up long after.
It's fair. It's still funny to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And it's definitely not. I wouldn't call even Mr. Beast. Obviously, Mr. Beast isn't the worst example of lowering the bar and just kind of going for what is the easy route or what is a more, for lack of a better word, manipulative way to get success.
I mean, I don't think he manipulated his way to the top.
Course.
Definitely not. He just
I mean,
hit it. He just hit it. He just hit it and went. You can't really stop the train once it starts moving. He had to.
True.
He did have to work for it. I think of the Mr. Beast clones as the people that are, honestly, like the real problem.
Yeah, because they're the people who just, there is no soul to it. There is no actual care for it. It's just, oh, I want to get famous so I can be successful. So I'm going to copy this.
Yeah, basically.
But I think on the point of being like transparent for a drama that is going on kind of a little more currently, involving Mr. Beast, but not mainly about him anymore, would be Lunchly. And specifically KSI.
Yeah, that happened a few weeks ago, didn't it? And it was like a lot of I mean, honestly, I don't know if he's trolling or not, but I like it's an honest YouTuber basically going, "Oh my god, I'm getting jumped by a baby zombie on a spider." Sorry. Sorry.
That's news about down there.
I'm good. Just getting cold. Like that was an honest to God YouTuber who basically said, "Hey, what you're doing is scummy," and yeah, it kind of is. I don't like Prime as a brand or anything, but it's like that. It's basically somebody going, "Hey, what you're doing isn't right," and then them freaking out because
Yeah.
it's causing a shitstorm. That's definitely accountability is definitely a big part of it. Now that you bring that up.
Yeah, because it was like, especially in DTM's case, like he's a father, he has
Right.
kids, and he was looking at this marketing, which was, oh, this is a healthy alternative for kids. This is a good thing to have, and it's like, no, it isn't.
Very
And
much
he
so
just and he lost his mind over it.
Over one
Obviously,
tweet.
like you said, it could be trolling, but
Some of it was at the
Just the
begin. At the
amount he went
beginning, it
off
was
about
hate, but at the end, he was like, "Okay, yeah, everyone's against me. I'm gonna push my music."
because like he was being clowned on.
Basically, yeah. Respectfully clowned on. Well,
But
not
yeah, it
Unrespectful.
wasn't respectful.
yeah, unrespectably clowned
like,
on.
But like, I think that'd be one of the big examples, because like, what is one of the lowest bars that you can reach in a society? And I would argue lying and trying to manipulate kids is probably one of your highest ones.
I mean, I think it could be number one. Maybe defrauding the economy. But I feel like, yeah, no, you're probably right there.
But like, effectively using your reach over millions of people to, I mean,
Push something
in mind that
that's
some of these
not
kids would
Excel
just-
good.
it's not good for them.
No.
And if they think it is and they get their hands on it, then you're actually ruining the lives of so many people.
So this is a good question for you. What common sense? What is your what is your thought on common sense right now in society? Because I could take, maybe when I was 15, I could look at that and go, "Oh, that's 1000% a scam." Do you think kids have that now? Do you think kids have a deeper sense of common sense, or do you think brain rot has screwed us over so much?
Well, considering my first idea of a response when you said, "Do you think we still have common sense?" was absolutely not.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll let you cook.
Because, I mean, this kind of ties back to us talking about like how early people are getting introduced to the internet, which is exposing people while they're still forming to like so many new things or so many ideas, and especially ones that aren't, for lack of a better word, monitored or policed,
Okay.
that almost anything could seem like a good idea. Meaning you don't build in whether it's like the morals or the understanding of, oh, this isn't something I should do. Oh, this isn't something I should believe. And especially for kids especially, it's hard to think in someone else's shoes. I don't remember what the age was, but I know until a certain age you're physically incapable of considering something as someone else.
Interesting.
And manipulating people like that is terrible, yet it happens all the time. And I think that's led to kind of more of a lack of common sense because those people are being manipulated more. Because stuff like YouTube isn't as regulated as, say, advertisements for toys and such. They're able to get away with so more, which I think has done damage
You get
to
that?
quote unquote common sense.
I mean, do you think that toy YouTuber has destroyed people's attention spans?
I mean,
I don't know the famous. Do you know the one I'm talking? Like the famous, like Ben's
I mean,
Toys
honestly,
review or some shit like that.
no, I don't know it specifically. I mean, I never looked at it, so I'm not surprised. But I get the sort of one you mean.
Oh my god. I keep getting dead dropped by enemies. Yeah.
That one might have been my fault.
What? Oh no, I'm
I think
I'm like on the surface. I'm like halfway into the
Okay.
mine. I'm not
I
really.
thought I ca-
I'm not. If I can see the surface, is it really into the mine?
I mean, technically, as long as you have like a foot, you're going into the mine, so it's
Oh,
close
okay.
enough.
All right, we'll win on technicality this episode.
But no, I definitely think common sense has taken a hit, for lack of a better word,
Mm-hmm.
because of things like brain rot, because of just YouTubers being not obviously. I say YouTubers. I shouldn't say that because obviously it's not all of them. It's like a very select few who are just too invested in pushing their own brand, too invested in pushing their own gain, that they don't pay attention to the damage that they do because of it. And because these kids then idolize them, I mean, why would I ever think differently?
Yeah.
I should just do what they say. Because, I mean, how you learn common sense is by
Experiences.
making experience. You make mistakes. Or like lessons that you're told by people important to you, usually your parents, I would hope.
Nah.
But then when you have something like an iPad kid, the stereotypical parent just dropped that there and then left them in a corner on a couch.
Yeah.
What common sense are they then building?
Little. And do you think it's strange that the ones abusing people's common sense rise to the top? Because you were talking, like, you talk about the YouTuber integrity. It's not every YouTuber, but it seems to be all of the popular YouTubers are the ones with these problems. What do you think about that?
In most things, I mean, I'm going to teeter the edge of things we should be talking about. But in most things, being corrupt or else having less of a backbone or having a lower bar for the things you're willing to do. So, there we go.
It's another bleep. It's another bleep.
Yeah, you're cutting that one out. Yeah, like a lower bar for the things you're willing to do to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's quicker. You'll get more people. In the end, I'd like to think it won't end well.
But
I'd like to think that the sort of people who do that will eventually be punished, but
yeah, but at least in terms of like YouTube, like when will that be? I mean, the only times people get exposed, like somebody can release dog shit merch and walk away because it's just merch. But like the only time somebody leaves is like when they're exposed to, talk to kids, or they are cheating or whatever. It's like they don't really get their comeuppance. It's a good word. But they don't they don't get it. They just kind of keep being successful.
I mean, it kind of depends what they do. Because, like, I mean, obviously there is a massive difference. I wouldn't call something like Lunchly or like Prime just merch. Because they affect people on a bigger scale than, oh, this is a really shitty t-shirt.
Just saying.
Like, I'm not gonna be as damaged about my poorly decaled shirt of Logan Paul getting his ass kicked in boxing, as it's not gonna be as bad for me as I have diabetes now.
Hey, never
example.
insult the Cobalt.tux store for your life-size recon helmets that I can't sell because I would be sued into oblivion.
Because you'd sued into oblivion.
That would be so fucked.
Like, if you could make money off of that, you'd be doing great. However,
I'd be so hyped.
Yeah, like, I'd like to think people like, oh Jesus, I'd like to think people like that will eventually be punished. Obviously, whether or not society works like that is up in the air.
I mean, I
for
think
a lot of people.
I think we found out that society doesn't work like that, and that sucks.
Oh my god. Yeah, because then what are you supposed to do if you're, for lack of a better word, a quote unquote good person? What does that mean for you if doing those things means you're not successful or you didn't play the game right?
The answer is kick rocks and have fun. That's really all you could say to that. Like they're like. So I guess this is kind of a follow up to shame. Do you think integrity is still widespread on YouTube? Think
On
about
YouTube
it.
in general.
In general. Think about every large creator. Think about all the niches, all the things. Do you think integrity is on YouTube?
I think in the end it still is. Because the people who aren't, obviously, I mean, we've been over the very relevant examples this entire time so far.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously they exist, obviously they're popular, but you're still seeing them maybe not as much comeuppance as they deserve or as much accountability as they should be having, but you are seeing them catching something. Whereas, I mean, you have people like, what's a good example? I mean, let's say like MatPat from Game Theory. I feel like most people, obviously there's controversy, but I feel like most people would say he was like a pretty respectful person.
Yeah.
And he kept at least a relative integrity through his career, whether or not you argue about like the various things of, oh, they didn't do the research and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you could at least say he was a decent person.
As a person,
Who was
as a person,
decent to his
yes. Through that, I think his we can argue his content and whatnot, like how many Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I fucked that up. like how many videos that he made out of that? I think we can talk about their content, but like as a person, yes, I think MatPat had integrity.
Yeah, and like you saw how he retired. Essentially, like that was, I mean, it was kind of a moment where most of YouTube, I mean, hell, even the YouTube account itself kind of came together and was like, this was a good person. This was someone who did a lot of things for this platform, whether or not you think they were good or bad, and kind of moved it forward in at least some ways, because he did.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you think that's good or bad. I don't think someone like I don't think someone like KSI is going to have that similar of a treatment, because how much of his career has been controversy, has been him, quote unquote, lowering the bar for what he was willing to do to get the fame he had.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously you'll always have the kids or like the people who essentially grew up just backing him the whole time. They'll obviously always agree with them. Those are the people who's like, you just won't change their minds. Mm-hmm. But on like the wider scale or the more general scale, I feel like in the end there will be accountability for it.
But when will that end come? Probably never, because at least for KSI, he's gonna run his YouTube career into the fucking ground, and until the wheels fall off, much like his brother Deji.
I don't even remember what he's doing at this point.
Neither do I. The earth. Neither do I. I just know that he had a brother named Deji who fell off. I don't know where he is right now or what he's doing, but he definitely fell off. Like, I bet he's still trying to make stuff.
I would assume. But I mean, like, I feel like you say never, but also, like, oh, he's going to run it in the ground. I feel like that's an example of, I mean, that is comeuppance in a way. Because eventually, this stuff just doesn't work anymore. Eventually, people will grow out of it. I mean, like, how many people watched what happened with Lunchley recently and said, I grew up before content, and I see now that I grew up and you didn't. I saw at least one. But how many people do you think fell?
Thank God you saw one. It depends. I don't know. I'm not like, I know a lot of people probably dipped out of KSI. Most like, if you're still with Logan Paul now, you kind of have to die on the hill. I'm sorry. After the crypto scam stuff, I was like, okay,
yeah, that's fair.
You have, like, this is your wagon. Like, you kind of have to.
You are here, ride or die. This is the end.
Suck it up. You can't leave.
But
I bet that's true.
I guess is what I mean.
I bet that's true. But like, if like going back to like the Mr. Beast stuff, people, I bet you there's a channel out there that started in 2011 that started doing Minecraft Let's Plays that transferred into that transferred into vlogs and then transferred into Among Us and then into Minecraft and probably is somehow now doing Mr. Beast challenge style videos. I bet you there's somebody that's done that.
Oh,
So
diamonds.
so that's not really Josh diamonds really that's
Oh
what
yeah,
it means.
100%. Because they essentially followed the trends. They said, this is what's working.
Right, but those people will never get their comeuppance.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Yeah. Because in some of those cases, like, it's too small to get it, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work out for them. But I feel like, is that not its own comeuppance in a way? Like, if you lowered yourself to that level and it didn't work, is that not...
But like if you
Feels
lower
cool to say.
but if you lower yourself again and again and again, I guess it is because at that point you're not every YouTuber follows the trends. That's exactly what it is. Like that's the reality of the situation. I've said that many times before. But it's like if you have to do that over and over and over again and not find your niche and not basically like listen to the people that actually listen to you, I guess that is a comeuppance in a way, but like financially, I bet that those people are still probably doing very well and can walk away and be like, yeah, I killed it. It's like, no, dude, you didn't. You lied, you lied and you cheated your way to the top.
But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it turns into the further you go down the rabbit hole of how much of it is, for lack of a better word, a physical battle and how much of it is just a moral one. Like, is it more of a reward to stick by your morals and not do things like that, to keep your integrity to
Well, I can answer that. I can answer that. I can answer that. It's definitely not worth it. It's definitely not worth it to hold the things. No, like if people had a chance of like, okay, you're gonna be wildly successful, or you can hold on to this ideal that you had, but you can get $10 million. I think most people, especially on X.com, the everything app, will like choose the $10 million.
Formerly known as Twitter.
Formerly known as Twitter, correct. Like I think they will. They will choose, and that's the problem with society. Joker reference, Joker picture.
Oh no! I do put the God.
Joker picture.
Joker picture. Joker picture. Yeah, yeah. There you go. As said, I think it's definitely taken a hit at the very least. I wouldn't say it's dead. I don't think it obviously ever will be.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely changed from how much of it is expected nowadays and what people are willing to do. Because I think also because we've gotten more examples of this works for some people.
Yeah.
Like we can look to the people who lowered the bar, to the people who were willing to lie, to cheat, to steal to get where they are, and we see where they are now. We see how successful they are. And it kind of justifies it in our heads that, okay, so that means I can do that too.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a bad person. I just want to be safe. I just want to be happy.
And if everybody else is doing it, why can't I? And such, we got to the end of the video. And such, we figured it out. And such, we wrapped it all the way back around. The honey boo-boo of all things. Where are you? Are you not here?
I'm in the very deep cave.
What the fuck? Oh my god, I just left there. Oh god.
Fairly
Okay.
different ways.
Well, shit. Well, Josh, next week is a very interesting episode. Do you know why?
I don't know what it is. What is it, Spencer? What's so interesting? What's coming?
Well, you don't have to do me like that. You can at least sound excited. This will be
Oh my goodness, Spencer, what's coming?
Thank you. We will be doing an in-person episode of Into the Mind. We'll still be playing Minecraft, but on my Xbox. But split screened.
But like
on my
it's in
Xbox.
person insofar as like it's
We
in
will be
person
in the
insofar as you'll
same
have
room.
a worse viewing experience.
Correct. The only positive is that we will be in the same room and I don't have to sync audio. That's the one positive. It's a complete negative for the audience. But yeah, so we will be doing a split screen on what topic? Who the fuck knows? Online friends? I think we already talked about that. I don't know. All right. We will
It'll be fun to figure out a mystery.
yeah, come see watch out the next episode for the next topic. Oh my god, I'm doing the thing where I'm third person in the air. All right, goodbye. See ya. See ya.
Whoa. What a crazy simple bye.